Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Maddles and welcome to another Starcraft 2 England cast. Today guys, I have got game 1 of a best of 3. It is from the Battle.net World Championships, it is from Group H and it is between the amazing aces Scarlett, the purple ZvP player in the top left, who's up against CreatorPrime, who is of course the red Protoss player in the lower right. Now Creator, absolutely amazing player. Scarlett, absolutely sensational. I'm hoping we're seeing some of the legendary creep spread out of her soon. But, well, Ahana is the map, so what does that mean in terms of strategy? Well, almost definitely a fast expansion out of the Protoss player. It's such an easy map to get away with it on. There goes down the pylon. May even see Nexus first, to be honest, on this map. So simple. Scarlett, 14-15 pool. 16 hatch into a quick third base at about 4 minutes to 4 minutes 20, almost certainly, and that's assuming nothing funky happens. But to be honest, if Scarlett did anything other than that, it would be very risky indeed, because on Ahana, as I said, so narrow into your natural, it's so easy to expand that really the wall off is just too easy to block off any early damage. Although this probe coming into scout quite quickly, obviously game 1 you're not too sure what the other person's going to do. It's all to play for because the psychological advantage of winning game 1 is absolutely huge. And well, if we take a look around, obviously, what are other key features of this map? Well, obviously, you've got the rocks here. For those of you who aren't familiar with Ahana, these rocks have to be taken out in order to get quick access to your third. You can still come around the front, but of course, this is a wide open space, which isn't actually too bad for Scarlett, to be honest. It is quite a problem for Creator, because obviously, Protoss units are better engaging in tight chokes, but obviously, Scarlett will want to knock those rocks out anyway, just to allow quicker resupplies. And what else have we got? Obviously, down here there's the narrow ramp, as I said. We do have a cliff here that can be utilised by blink stalkers potentially, but we'll wait and see whether that does actually happen or not. In reality, we'll probably see quite a passive game, I would imagine, at least until the mid-game portion, because both these players are going to go relatively safe. The other possible option for Creator, who has gone Nexus first, is worth pointing out, is that he could go for some kind of 2-base all-in, be that Immortal Sentry, which is very strong, some kind of big gateway push, anything from a 5 to sort of 8-9 gate, to try and knock out the third base quickly. That's going to be really the essential target of this map. And well, if we look around at these two players, what else have we got going on? Well, probably not too much, considering obviously the Forge is on its way. We've got some Zerglings coming out for Scarlett, interestingly getting 4, and the reason I say that's interesting is because 2 will happily deal with this probe, so getting 4 is obviously 1 less drone, and if you have got 4 out, you've got to find a use for them. 2 Zerglings, it's really easy to find a use for. You said 1 here, and you said the other one just sitting out and poking up and down the ramp. 4, well, what on earth do you do with the rest? Well, you just really go and have a little chill around. Now, of course, the Overlord has seen this coming down. The Photon Cannon will be done in plenty of time. The probe going there to complete the wall off, although not actually going to go there in time. He's going to see the Zerglings coming in, though, and this is going to get back. Phew, that was really close. Obviously, you don't want to let the Zerglings in. The pylon goes down. That'll obviously get countered. The probe dies. Doesn't die, though. Obviously, that's something fun to watch. Obviously, the single hatchery on its way down started 14 seconds ago, so just after the 4-minute mark. One of the probes survives. The other probe going to come back. Obviously, the Photon Cannon down now. In terms of things coming out, we've got the 1 gateway still, well, about to finish. The second hatchery finished for Scarlett. The third, about a third done. And well, in terms of the queen count, only 1 out for the time being. The second queen on its way. Surprised no third queen started yet, but looking around this map, obviously what else do we have? The Overlord coming to just scout and get a look. This other Overlord going to come and position itself down here, because that is a great place to stick it. You can see the 2 gas, which of course is very important. No gas timings. 2 gas already up for Creator, that's fine. The third base for Scarlett on its way. The queen going down towards the third. Some creep spread starting already. The second queen out. No third queen started yet, which I find really amazing. I can't believe that third queen hasn't got started yet. Obviously, just trying to squeeze as many drones out as possible, and is actually behind at the moment in drone count, which is to be expected, because of course chrono boosting out probes from Nexus is a lot quicker than early games there. But once this third base gets going, well, the worker count will go huge. Where are the rally points? That one should be rallied down to the natural. There we go. So that's all fine for the worker rallies. Looking here, we do of course have the Overlord coming in. We do have what is Gateway chrono boosting our Stalker. The Zealot wasn't skipped, it goes down to the Watchtower, so that's all fine. Meanwhile, these Zerglings, they're just running around keeping an eye out for any pylons or anything. In terms of map vision, obviously Creator has decent map vision. Scarlett with really pretty good map vision of exactly what's going on everywhere. Keep an eye on those gas counts. That Stalker's going to push back that Overlord now, but that doesn't really matter too much. The only thing really missing is this sort of area. Worth checking that out just to make sure there's no proxy pylons going down, because of course the threat is what else could be coming in. Obviously this pylon here keeps an eye out for the Overlord, but the Overlord actually sitting back here. No sign of what is going to be the strategy yet, other than of course the +1 ground weapons on their way out. Scarlett just droning exactly as she should be. A sentry coming out now following this up. Again, this is pretty normal getting the sentries out. The rock's getting taken out. That could be an indicator that maybe the third base wants to come down fairly soon. These Zerglings in the center going to get a bit of harassment from a Zealot and a Stalker, so they will be forced to run back without speed. Speed not started yet. 3 more gateways being added on, so this could be a delayed 4-gate pressure, which is always good. It allows you to expand behind it. We've got the Twilight Council coming down as well, so it could be early blink play. That, of course, is very nice as well. This one Stalker Zealot pressure can be nice. Picking off a creep tumor as well while it's building doesn't get cancelled by Scarlett. That, of course, puts a dead end to that second chain of creep, which you never really want to see happening. The lair on its way, the evolution chamber and Rotron coming down at the same time at about the 7-minute mark, which is good timing. Anywhere between about 6 minutes 30 and 7 minutes is a good time for those to get started. Meanwhile, the Robo facility on its way down. So is Creator going to try and utilize this cliff area? Obviously, Overlords are sitting here. Great map vision from Scarlett, as you can see from these Overlords. Just keeping a good idea of everything that's going on. Need to try and hold this watchtower, though. That'd be absolutely perfect. And probably going to take that once this Stalker gets killed off, which it's going to try and run away as best it can. These rocks are getting focused by the sentries. We've got even more sentries coming down here. So, as you can see, an awful lot on the moment. We've got Blink on its way, obviously. The Observer coming down as well. This is really just gearing up to be what is essentially going to be a 3-base play out of Creator. 3-base Protoss, exceptionally strong, and obviously Scarlett needs to start thinking about taking the 4th, maybe even the 5th base as well at some time soon. Now, these Zerglings are very important to keep harassing the Stalker. Speed is nearly finished up, at which point it'll be easy to deal with. The +1 missile attack coming down as well as road speed on its way. That's going to make them very, very effective units. The creep spread needs to keep going. Scarlett very, very good with creep spread normally. Here we go. We've got the units moving down. We should get the Nexus started any second. There's enough money for it. So just keeping an eye out. Obviously that Observer getting taken down will now be fully aware that that hatchery is coming, but as you can see, quite a few units moving across the map. Great work with this Observer here, just keeping an eye out for basically any units that are moving. So this basically allows Creator to get into a good position. Scarlett does have the supply advantage, but not a huge one, as you can see. Only a slight worker advantage at the moment. 61 to 57 isn't huge. I'm surprised Scarlett hasn't drone more. Getting the infestation pit out now. Here comes the 11 additional drones, so that's all good. The +1 carapace coming down, +1 missile attack already finished, +1 ground weapon done for the Protoss. 3 force with pick off 2 roaches. Maybe a bit of an overspend, but obviously, as you can see here, we do have the 4th base coming out from Scarlett. Everything's good. Getting up the 6th gas there. In terms of downward Creators getting up, well, he's getting an Immortal out now. He's got this Twilight Council, which he's got Blink from. That's researched. +2 ground weapons on their way down as well. This watchtower being held nicely. The Observer keeping a good eye on what the Zerg forces are doing for the time being. We've got the double cannon of the 3rd. That just helps you defend it nicer. The complete wall up here at the natural. That's going to prevent any kind of Zergling run-bys, which of course are a big threat, and something on Ahana is always a good idea to do, because then you only have this one area to defend really, which is really, really nice. As you can see, the Zerg units moving around, trying to just get out of the way of this quite large Protoss force, and obviously with the 2 Immortals, with the high sentry count, those roaches and Zerglings are going to struggle on their own. Infestors should be hitting the scene shortly, though. As you can see, pathogen glands down there at 40 supply. So there go 40 seconds through. There goes all of the infestors. That is good. Of course, infestors take 50 seconds. Pathogen glands takes 80. So you can start infestor production at just gone 30 seconds of pathogen glands, and obviously they will pop with the additional energy, which is something that all good Zerg players should know and utilize. As you can see, the Immortals still increasing in number. The Robo Bay coming down. Up here for Scarlett, the 4th base up. That's all looking good. The 2-2, the 1-1 melee upgrades coming down. Hive just starting up as I speak, and of course this is just a transition into the late game, and of course that Hive starting before the 12-minute mark, that is exceptionally early. That's because of the information Scarlett's got. The 3rd base is down. That means the Protoss is teching hard. Probably from the amount of units down, there's not a huge number of gateway units, so fairly okay against super early pressure, and that means the Protoss is just going for mass units. As you can see, the Spire starting just after the Hive, which is absolutely fine. You want to try and start them about the same time. They both take 100 seconds to complete. The 4th base up and running nicely. In terms of the worker count, 88 to 67. Scarlett has possibly just a few too many workers, so getting rid of them in Spine Crawlers, which of course is exactly what you should do. It's not Broodlord Infestor, it's Broodlord Infestor Spine Crawler, so you always want to get those spines up for the passive defense. They cost no supply, and they do slow down a Protoss army quite significantly. And now, as you can see here, CreatorPrime looking like he's going to go up there and perhaps take a 4th base very, very early on, clearing out the rocks at least ready. The Zerg army coming around though. I'm glad Scarlett isn't going to go for this, because this is going to be a really bad engagement for her, and luckily pulling back, and I think that is precisely the right thing to do in this situation. The Templar Archives on the way out, as well as an awful lot of gateways being added on here. The gateway count is getting pretty damn high, and well, that is going to allow very, very quick resupplies. Also, obviously, the high Templar means Archons are going to start hitting. No Stargate yet. Obviously, the Stargate is the late game addition to the Protoss Army. The Greatest Spire just starting now. The Stargate purely just used to get the Mothership Core out, which, not Mothership Core, rather, what am I on about? Fleet Beacon, in order to get the Mothership out. Of course, Mothership Core is the Heart of the Swarm new unit for Protoss players, which is really cool and opens up so much exciting stuff for Protoss to do. I love it. But looking here, we do, of course, have these Zerglings and Infestors, a couple of Roaches in there as well, going for an engagement, and a good blink back. The Force Fields are okay, but Fungal Growth, Infested Terrans coming down everywhere. This is a great engagement here for Scarlett, and well, as you can see, things are just not going too well at the moment. This Colossus is still staying up. The second Colossus coming in, and well, CreatorPrime, I don't actually think he came out that well from that engagement, but Scarlett seems to have lost an awful lot more. And, well, the supply advantage is definitely there for Scarlett, but the Protoss force kept its power units. The two Colossi stayed up, the Archons stayed up, and that could run into some problems. Another Archon morphing in here, and, well, those Corruptors are coming over. They're going to try and pick off the Colossi. The good Fungal Growth goes down, but in come the Charged Zealots, and, well, we've got another big engagement coming down here. This is pretty fun to watch. Both Colossi do go down very, very quickly. You do see here the Corruptors are now effectively useless, though now they've picked off all their targets. A good attack position for the Protoss player, being able to create a nice narrow choke for the Zerg units to try and be forced to engage in. The Archons all go down, and well, this is where it starts getting unfun for the Protoss, because suddenly the Immortals are at the front of the fight, and that is never going to work out too well for you, because let's face it, Immortals are great unless they're focused down, but somehow Creator has managed to keep all but one of those Immortals alive and is now pushing forward very, very quickly. But 4 Broodlords are in production, 56 Zerglings just about to pop, and well, Spine Crawlers, they're trying to move back, they're trying to get into a good defensive position, but CreatorPrime just seems to have so much momentum right now. Ace of Scarlett is going to have to think fast if he wants to hold this game, because otherwise this is not going to go well. One of the Broodlords getting picked up while morphing, that is a big loss. The second one almost certainly going to go down as well. It does, but the Broodlords pop out, one gets instantly gone, and Scarlett is forced to GG out, and Creator, in what was just an endless push, just went and won, and that is never a bad move at all. And of course, that was game 1, guys, so if you did like it, I'll see you at game 2 in any second of this best of 3. It's on my channel. I'll see you there.